The absolute hardest thing with buying and renovating a house in Japan is actually not buying it or renovating it, it's to get rid of trash. And in this video I will guide you through how I got rid of all my trash in the abandoned house that I bought in central Tokyo. Not only the items that the previous Japanese owner left behind, but also constructional waste. Since the municipality didn't really want to help me with this, I needed to find my own solutions. If you're thinking about buying and getting an Akiya in Japan, you'll find this video very helpful. こんにちは皆さん、Anton です and welcome to Tokyo, Japan. I've gotten a lot of questions lately. How did you manage to get rid of your trash? And that's a very good question, because I didn't really know how to get rid of my trash for the first few months. I was in a lot of trouble, and as I told you in a previous video, I was quoted $18,000 to get rid of the trash that the previous owner of my Sangenjaya house left behind. And the demolition started for real, and the municipality didn't really want to help me either. If you've ever been to Japan and you end up buying something from the thousands of convenience stores that's all around the city. Let's say you buy an ice cream, and then so many times I realized, okay, you eat the ice cream, and then the trash, when you've finished eating it, you have nowhere to put it. So you just end up putting it in your pocket, and then when it's time to wash your clothes, you end up finding a lot of trash in your pockets. But despite that, the streets here are so clean. The municipality, they told me I could throw away 12 items, but there was a wait list and I had to wait like 7 weeks or something like that. But I needed to get rid of my trash straight away. So how did I do this? If you're gonna renovate a house in Japan, what will help you is to create a community. Be friends with your neighbors, have people with the same interests. And what helped me the most with this as well, with getting good electricians, with finding good material, getting leftover wood for free. Who helped me? My local lumber did. And they also introduced me to a waste disposal company. Pretty dirty place, I would say, close to the river. I went there a few times. And I was kind of shocked, like how dirty, and the people working there were super nice people. It just felt like a different world. Every time I had to get rid of trash, I had to rent a car, get to my house, prepare everything beforehand, put it in garabukuro, the bags, make the wood small. It's about 30 minutes away. K-trucks, they're small. You can fit probably 2 cubics, and that's how you pay to get rid of your stuff. It's quite silly. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just spoiled from doing this kind of constructional thing in Sweden. Sweden is for free. Yeah, you just fill your truck with stuff, and then you go to the dump, and you dump it there. You call it a dump? I think you do, right? So I rented a car, filled the car with a lot of trash, and then I drove away. I got friends with the people there because I was there probably 30, 40, 50 times. The cheapest things to throw away is burnable waste, wood, or I don't know, wood. And each cubic of wood is about 5,000 yen, like 40 bucks, because the yen is so low right now. So 40 bucks, but that doesn't include the time it takes to rent the car, get back here, fill the car, and then get away. And my street here in front is very tiny, so I couldn't stand there for more than 5 minutes when loading the car, and then I had someone in the back of me, doo-doo, honking. I had to go around and then back again. So every time you park the car, I had to be really fast with the bags. Load, run, run, run. Get to the place where you throw away all the trash, and then they measure it. So they give you a quick, this is about, I don't know, 100 bucks. This is about 200 bucks. The most expensive things to throw away is concrete or tsuchikabe. It's very dense. And honestly, I don't really know what they do with it. They probably like drive it out to Chiba or somewhere way far away, or maybe they sell it to abroad. I think this is a very dark topic, and when I've brought my Japanese friends there, they're kind of in shock. They've never seen places like this in Japan before. So the cheapest things to throw away is wood. Then you have, I think, electronics or metal. And then it's concrete and constructional waste. Like plaster boards is really expensive, and buying a plaster board from the store is like, I don't know, $5 for one of these, like 182 centimeter tall one and 91 width. That's like $5. But throwing one away is like $10, and then you gotta get it to the dump as well. Do you say dump? I know in Chiba, Nagano, Niigata, or if you live in the countryside, it's probably easier to throw things away. I know my friends in Chiba is doing kind of similar things. They have like a community, like a municipality place where you can throw away, like an incinerator. The municipality here have something similar as well. But how are you gonna wait 1 or 2 months just to throw things away? It's just like a block when you're moving forward, which is very irritating. And I would rather spend my energy on something fun and creative, like how are you gonna build this staircase? How is your kitchen gonna be? Be creative and have fun instead of putting so much energy, time, and money into trash. I think in the end I probably spent $10,000 on trash disposal, which is kind of crazy to me. I have another fun story. I wouldn't call it fun, but when I went out to Chiba to buy my hardwood floor, I actually had another floor that I bought at first. But I wanted it to be solid wood. I wanted it to be solid oak. I can be very specific, but I love natural materials in my design and interior work. And it had to be natural. And the floor I bought previous didn't cut it for that, I think. So I went out to Chiba to look for a new floor, and I found this great lumber store out in nowhere. I found some good flooring. I was looking for walnut, but in the end I went for some Swedish oak. Right next to this warehouse where they had the lumber, they had like tons and tons of big bags. After I spent a few $1,000s on new flooring, very important, flooring, very important. I also put in floor heating, so I was very limited in the choices I could make. But I chose a really good floor, the owner of this lumber. And I talked to him, and all these big bags, they were actually trash. Someone 2 or 3 years ago, they rented a huge piece of land, someone did, and then they did this as a business. They were taking care of people's trash and then moving it out there. It's kind of a crazy story. And then they just dumped it. And I asked him, yeah, what happened then? Yeah, they put someone in jail, like someone is like the face of the company. So they put someone in jail, and then in order to dispose all of this was gonna be about $7 or $8 million. Like, I don't know, 1,000 truckloads of trash out in, like, right next to his warehouse. I would have been really mad. They had this $7 or $8 million of trash right next to there, and no one wanted to do anything about it. They couldn't do anything about it. This hard thing just creates opportunities for people with bad intentions, I guess. And despite that, Japan and Tokyo is the cleanest city I've ever been to. Kind of fascinating, but also really weird. It's hard to understand, I think. I'll also read some comments that you guys left on my previous "Don't do this $18,000 mistake." $2,000 to remove that stuff is not bad in my opinion. Other option would have been to buy another abandoned house for free, move the staff there, abandon again. Interested to get a comment on this. Very bad idea, I think. Who's gonna buy that house? Who's gonna clean that house later on? Terrible idea. Also, even if you buy a house for free or get a house for free, the land usually costs money and then the transaction costs money. That's the reason why no one wants to help you getting these houses. Like, the transaction and just doing something easy in Japan, like something that would have been easy in your country, takes a lot of effort in Japan usually. That's why these companies charge you thousands of dollars of just finding these properties. Also, a lot of comments, how do you get a house from abroad? I don't think you should. I think you should be here. You should be interested in Japan. Like, if you're getting it from abroad with the intention that you're gonna be here, like, you might as well get here and then finding a house. That's just my personal opinion. Are yard sales a thing in Japan? Not really. Why? Because they don't have space. Out in the countryside, it's more of a thing, but in Tokyo, you don't really see it. Sometimes if people have leftover things, you see people putting boxes out in the street. I did that a few times until some neighbor put like a sign like that. I put some beautiful plates and cutlery out there, and then 2 hours later I was met with an angry note from a neighbor like, whose trash is this? Pick it up. Take care of your trash. Take care of your trash. You keep saying central Tokyo, but all the Akiya websites shows Akiya far away from the center. Yes, because people want the Akiyas in Tokyo. People want to live in Tokyo. Can't you just rent a truck and drive the trash to a part of Japan that has a dump? You probably can, and I probably should have done that. It's just that I needed to get rid of trash from time to time. Let's say I did a lot of demolishing and just having a mountain of trash just laying there. It's an option. It was an option, definitely, but like getting rid of trash was like kind of a relief thing. This is like, you're renovating, you don't want to deal, you don't want to put your energy, you don't want to put your time in this, but it's, I guess it goes like this when they don't really have a renovation culture here. I haven't met a single foreigner running a bigger renovation and construction company here yet. But I think with sustainability, and even in Japan, SDGs, also Kengo Kuma, a really famous Japanese architect, is saying that this is not sustainable, and I think we're waiting for a huge renovation boom in Japan. Despite having earthquakes, despite having this like newly produced homes kind of everywhere, and this culture of new equals good, which I don't agree with, I think we're facing a renovation culture here in Japan, and there are huge opportunities since there are 10 million abandoned houses here. You cannot burn trash here, like, it's not an option. Why would you do that? So if you're buying an Akiya in Tokyo or in Japan on the countryside, be prepared for this. And remember, you heard this from Anton in Japan first.